Coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
We go live to the Hamden Town Address to hear from town officials.
And students express their frustration over funding of club sports.
Stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm John McMahon.
And I'm Alex Taglieri.
Construction of the multicultural suite in the Carl Hansen Student Center is nearly complete. The construction for such an area started after the university felt the need to have an area for students of different cultures to congregate. The suite is inside the Carl Hansen Student Center next to the Greek Suite, and is planned to open in the coming future.
Similar to the Greek Suite, the Media Suite, the SGA Suite, it does have a conference room so the e-boards will be able to meet, and a lounge area so that all of the organizations can kind of hang out with each other, do homework, whatever they feel like doing. The suite, however, is going to be open to anyone that wants to go in, use it, hang out, get to know each other. They really wanted it to be an open door policy as much as possible.
Quinnipiac hosted a teach-in today to recognize International Women's Day and a Day Without a Woman. Throughout the day-long event, students and teachers hosted discussions and gave presentations about women's issues. Topics included women's representation in films, engineering jobs, and their roles in the family. In addition, there were student information booths and a featured showcase from an Iraqi refugee photographer from New Haven.
So the whole event today is, like I said, to just spread equality and spread awareness. And we have several guest speakers coming, professors from all over the university. And it's a really cool thing that we got set up. And it's an all-day event, 10 to 5.
A webinar was held this past Tuesday on how faculty can support undocumented students was presented in the Mount Carmel Auditorium. The 1-hour webinar was presented by Chad Tiemann, who has done similar presentations in the past and is a sought-out member on the topic. The goal for the presentation is to find ways to better accommodate undocumented students and maximize the services throughout the university. Quinnipiac's Relay for Life, an event through the American Cancer Society to raise money for cancer research and celebrate the lives of those who have battled cancer, is holding a kickoff event in the Piazza from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. The event is to promote Quinnipiac's Relay for Life, which happens each September. Students are encouraged to come and enjoy free food, get their palms read, have a picture taken in a Polaroid photo booth, and sign up for the main event, which happens next fall.
Tickets went on sale for the annual Wake the Giant concert on Sunday night, and many students tried to get tickets to see Tiesto perform live. The process changed from last year in an attempt to resolve issues. This year, students were limited to 1 ticket and are restricted from reselling their tickets. Floor tickets sold out within minutes. The concert is set to take place on April 21st.
There weren't any major issues. We used Glitner's obviously a third party that we were using for it. So as far as we know, nothing major really happened. The website didn't crash this year, which was really nice. And we were a little bit more prepared after last year's ticket sales for anything that might come at us. But we worked with them in the box office, and they've been really good about handling any issues or questions people have had come up about tickets.
We now go live to Hamden Town Hall, where our very own Carrie Golden is standing by for the town address.
Carrie,
John, Alex, I'm standing here in the town hall where I just listened to Mayor Lang's State of the Town address in Hamden, Connecticut. Some of the things he touched upon tonight is improving safety in the town of Hamden, including parks, sidewalks, etc. He also wants to expand the police safety by putting in cameras in key locations so that way they can see what's going on the scene before they actually get there. One of the major points he touched upon tonight was community engagement outreach. He'll be holding office hours every other Friday, so that way the residents of Hamden are more vocal with their opinions and what they want done with the town, and that way he knows what's going on and what the people want. And then, of course, the relations between Quinnipiac University and the town of Hampden, and how the money that has come from President John Leahy, the $1.4 million check, how that money can be used to better relations between the university and the town of Hampden. If you want any more information on what went on in the State of the Town address, please visit our website at www.q30television.com. Reporting from Hampden, Connecticut, Carrie Golden, back to John and Alex at the desk.
Student Government Association's Vice President for Student Experience, Ali Munshi, has noticed that Quinnipiac students feel a lack of inclusivity and acceptance. He is planning to change this with an event called That's Not Okay.
I hate the perception that my school is not a tolerant campus, because I love this school more than anyone. And so for, to hear this rhetoric that Quinnipiac is not tolerant and Quinnipiac, doesn't necessarily support, certain groups, is very troubling for me. So that's what I'm trying to target, and hopefully we can create a more inclusive environment at this campus.
And still to come on the Q30 Newscast, we go live to St. Baldrick's, where some students and other members of the university are shaving their heads to help children battling cancer.
Guys.
Hello, Quinnipiac hockey fans, and welcome to the Neutral Zone.
Definitely St. Lawrence, and I think you're going to see the test coming up real soon.
They might be having a bit of an adjustment issue without that CBS line, but don't count them out.
At High Point Solutions Arena in Game 2 of Quinnipiac vs. Northeastern Series.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
And welcome into Studio 125.
So what? So what?
If you score 40 points in a basketball game, we all know you play Quinnipiac intramurals. We all know you love to shoot the rock.
Well, if you think that's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, what I'm about to say, I guess, is going to be pretty ridiculous in your book. But I'm going to say yes, there is a controversy.
I'm line, getting ready to punch the ball as it lands right in front of another Monument player.
Welcome back to the Q30's Newscast. Thanks for sticking with us. We now go live to the Burcon Court, where our very own Sarah Schreiner and Kyle Lavasser are standing by live at St. Baldrick's.
Sarah, Kyle, any idea how many heads have been shaved so far?
Actually, I'm going to ask.
Hi guys, thank you very much. I'm Kyle Lavasser here in the Burcon Court alongside Sarah Schreiner, where Quinnipiac students are shaving their heads with St. Baldrick's Foundation to raise money for child cancer.
Hi guys, thank you very much. I'm Kyle Lavasser here in the Burcon Court alongside Sarah Schreiner, where Quinnipiac students are shaving their heads with the St. Baldrick's Foundation to raise money for child cancer. Students have raised just over a little over $11,000, all of it going to child research, and we're now going to bring in junior Louis Napolitano, who has just shaved his head. And Louis, this is your second year in a row doing it. Why do you think it's such a good cause?
I think it's a great cause because cancer is a very prevalent issue. My grandmother had cancer 4 separate times, and just a bunch of my brothers from having that, it really hits home for me. So that's why I decided to go out and do this for a second year.
And do you know anybody else that decided to shave their head this year?
Yeah, a bunch of my brothers from my fraternity, Fiji, they came out and did it, and then I know just a few other people here that came out.
What do you think it is about just doing it for such a good cause that brings people together?
It's pretty much that, like,
So thank you so much for joining us. It's really a great cause. Here they had T-shirts, they had signs saying, "Bold is beautiful, brave to shave, giving away pain, free ice cream." It's a really great event here.
It's a really great cause.
We're going to send it back to you guys.
They had T-shirts, they had signs saying, "Bold is beautiful, brave to shave, giving away pains, free ice cream." Just a really great event here at Quinnipiac. And we're going to send it back to you guys at the desk. Thanks for having us.
Quinnipiac students from all majors are invited to participate in the first ever CASE competition. The CASE competition takes place on Saturday, March 25th, and gives students a chance to join a team, which will work together to create and develop a solution for a business. 24 hours later, the teams will return to present their solution to a panel of professionals. No business experience is necessary. Interested students should visit tinyurl.com/QUCaseApp. The deadline to register is Tuesday, March 21st.
It is that time of year again. The new RA staff for residence halls has been selected. Both new and returning resident assistants were invited to apply for RA positions for the 2017 through 2018 school year. The applicants went through a group process and individual interviews. They found out if they received the positions a week later. Our very own Brooke Riley had an interview with Director of Residential Life, Mark Devilbiss, who explained the importance of current RAs reapplying and why graduate students are no longer able to be RAs.
We have students reapply to make sure that we have an opportunity to review not only their performance but the learning that took place. And it's a great chance to check in, and we view the RA position as one that you have to continue to earn on a daily basis, and so it's not an automatic rehire process. We want to keep the emphasis on the undergraduate students as a leadership opportunity, and also I think that undergraduate RAs connect well with undergraduate students, so we wanted to preserve that experience for undergrads.
The start of a new day could bring many new beginnings here on campus. Some of the new forms of clubs and student organizations. Beverly Wakiaga has a story on how those organizations get going.
There are different ways to get involved on campus. There are more than 140 organizations here at Quinnipiac, from the African Caribbean Student Union to our very own Q30. The Department of Campus Life is always adding to the list of student organizations.
This year, when we started the year and through the course, we probably had about 2 or 3 groups that have gone inactive this year, but we've also brought on, 5 new student groups.
All organizations go through a process before they are recognized. They must attend an information session, submit a constitution, and finally an application with at least 5 people who are interested in the club.
It's not that bad. I mean, the application is very self-explanatory, and then, you just have to find 5 people. So if you live in Commons, it's like your room and the room next to you, and that's it. So it's not too bad.
Once groups complete this process, they are added to the official list of organizations. They are given a Do You QU page and are able to reserve rooms. But not everyone makes it through this process.
There's a good chunk of those people that we won't ever see again. They just come to the meeting and kind of get the information, and then we won't hear anything. And then there's, a group there that pushes all the way through and gets their group.
Although some students simply choose not to continue the process, certain clubs will not be allowed on campus.
We determine the amount of liability or risk. So if something, seems like people really might get hurt,
we don't allow for there to be like 2 economics clubs or 2 finance clubs, right? We have a finance club, we have an economics club.
If you're interested in starting a new organization on campus, the Office of Campus Life holds information sessions every Tuesday at 2 p.m. in SC 202. For Q30 News, I'm Beverly Wakiaga.
Donald Trump's newest version of the travel ban and a possible wiretapping on his phone in Trump Tower.
Mike Iozzo has more in his political update.
Thanks, guys. President Trump has accused the Obama administration of wiretapping his phones during the presidential election. This claim was made on President Trump's Twitter this weekend saying, quote, "Terrible. Just found out the Obamas had wiretaps in Trump Tower just before the victory. Nothing found. This is McCarthyism," end quote. These claims left many in the Justice Department searching for hard evidence to back up Trump's claims, but nothing has been obtained. Former President Obama spokesperson Kevin Lewis has released a statement saying, quote, "Neither President Obama nor any White House official has ever ordered surveillance on any U.S. citizen. Any suggestion otherwise is simply false," end quote. The FBI Director James P. Comey has asked the Justice Department to reject these claims, saying they falsely display the FBI as breaking the law. President Trump gave a speech about his new military budget for the coming years on Thursday, March 2nd. This budget calls for an increase of $44 billion towards national defense compared to his first budget. Trump backed up this number by explaining, quote, I am sending the Congress a budget that rebuilds the military, eliminates the defense sequester, and calls for one of the largest increases in national defense and a great rebuilding of the United States military and the United States Navy, end quote. This proposal will lead the budget cuts to sectors of government spending such as education, the environment, science, and poverty. Trump is expected to announce a revision to his executive order on Monday. The original executive order barred visitors from Iraq, Syria, Sudan, Iran, Somalia, Libya, and Yemen to enter the United States. This edited version is expected to leave out Iraq, allowing Iraqi visitors to enter the U.S. This exclusion comes after Secretary of State Rex Tillerson discussed the vetting process with the Iraq government, and he believes the existing vetting process is enough on its own. That's all I have for your political update. Thanks. Back to you guys at the desk.
U.S. Soccer has created a new policy in its response to athletes kneeling to the national anthem.
And Amazon is exploring the last frontier. Krista Delane has your national news update.
Do you ever imagine how you will spend your 99th birthday one day? Well, one World War II veteran has surely outdone himself. Sergeant Eugene Leonard took a ride in a B-17 bomber this past Saturday to celebrate his special day. He joined the Marines in 1936 and also spent some time in the Air Force. It is said that Eugene indirectly saved about 40 lives with his work on the airplanes. U.S. Soccer has created a new policy requiring all players and coaches to respectfully stand during the national anthem as of this past Saturday. U.S. Soccer released a statement saying, quote, we have an expectation that our players and coaches will stand and honor the flag while the national anthem is played, end quote. It has not been made clear whether or not there will be a punishment for those if they do not obey the policy. March is Women's History Month, and this year's theme is honoring trailblazing women in labor and business. In recognition of this month, Brawny has temporarily replaced the man on their paper towel packages with a picture of a woman. This limited edition packaging comes from Brawny's parent company, Georgia Pacific, to promote their Strength Has No Gender campaign. As college students, we can all attest to a time when Amazon Prime has come in handy. Well, there could soon be an Amazon Space Prime. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos has unveiled plans to develop a spacecraft that will deliver products to the moon. The spacecraft would land near the moon's south pole where there is water and sunlight. Spacecraft development would take place through Bezos' space company, Blue Origin. The goal is to launch this spacecraft by mid-2020. Bezos hopes his efforts will help to move plans for human settlement on the moon one day. That's all I have for this week's National Update. I'm Krista Delane. Back to you guys at the desk.
Still to come on the Q30 Newscast, we let you know how much snow you could expect for spring break move-out this weekend.
And Quinnipiac's love for Ireland will be well known at this year's New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade. Stick with us.
Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up on hashtag that. We are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news. Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
And welcome into Studio 125.
So what? So what? If you score 40 points in a basketball game, we all know you play Quinnipiac intramurals. We all know you love to shoot the rock.
Well, if you think that's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, what I'm about to say, I guess, is going to be pretty ridiculous in your book, but I'm going to say yes, there is a controversy.
I'm line, getting ready to punch the ball as it lands right in front of another monument player.
Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. Thanks for staying with us.
We now toss it over to Brooke Riley for your complete weather forecast. Brooke, what can we expect as we prepare to leave campus for spring break?
Thanks, guys. We had some nice weather today, so let's take a look and see what we have coming up for this week. Tonight is going to be 40 degrees, clear skies. All you need is a little jacket and you will be fine. It's pretty nice out here. Today we had some cool temperatures, but not too bad out there. It was 43 in Waterbury and New Haven, 45 in Meriden, 42 in Hartford, 40 in Storrs, and a little cooler up to the northeast, 39 and 38 in Norwich and New London. Tomorrow, looks like we got a nice day ahead of us. Again, 51, a little breezy, but lots of sun, so it will not be too bad out there. Tomorrow night, though, looks like we got a snowstorm heading our way. 31 degrees. By Friday, we should have around 3 to 5 inches of snow, so don't put those shovels away just yet. Like I said, tomorrow we have a really nice day ahead of us, 51 and sunny. Friday, I know everyone's going to be heading home for spring break, so be careful driving. I know the roads are going to be pretty slick because we have 39 degrees and lots of snow heading our way. This weekend looks pretty sunny but pretty cool. We have 27 degrees on Saturday and 31 on Sunday, so definitely need a winter coat out there again. Monday we have 35 degrees, partly cloudy skies, not too bad out there. And yet again, more snow Tuesday and Wednesday with temperatures at 39 and 38. That's all I have for this week's weather. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Last week, fans found out the artist that will be taking over for Beyonce as Coachella's headliner.
Sarah Russell has the biggest headlines in this week's entertainment report.
Thanks, guys. Well, it was announced last week that Lady Gaga will be taking over for Beyonce as headliner of Coachella. Beyonce shared the news that she is pregnant with twins on her Instagram last month. She decided that it was best for her and her baby's health to keep her schedule clear. Lady Gaga has already had a busy 2017. She performed during the Super Bowl halftime show and also at the Grammys with Metallica, all in the last month. Her album, Joanne, dropped in October, and she'll be going on a world tour starting in August. In other news, Emma Watson is facing some backlash after her recent Vanity Fair photo shoot. The topless image she posed for had fans questioning her stance as a feminist. Watson fired back, saying, quote, "Feminism is not a stick with which to beat other women with. It's about freedom, it's about liberation, it's about equality," end quote. She has worked as a Women Goodwill Ambassador with the United Nations and the He for She campaign. Watson isn't bothered about the backlash, and she said that she thinks the photos have a high artistic value. Her new movie, Beauty and the Beast, hits theaters March 17th. And finally, the iHeartRadio Music Awards were held this past Sunday. Ryan Seacrest hosted the night, and presenters included Miley Cyrus, DJ Khaled, Halsey, John Legend, and Florida Georgia Line. The big winners of the night were Justin Timberlake, who won Song of the Year for Can't Stop the Feeling, Adele, who won Female Artist of the Year, and Justin Bieber, who won Male Artist of the Year. Katy Perry opened the show with her single Chained to the Rhythm. Bruno Mars won this year's Innovator Award and performed a mashup of Treasure and his newest single, That's What I Like. Ed Sheeran performed also two of his singles, Shape of You and Castle on a Hill, from his new album, Divide, which was released on Friday. In a heartwarming moment of the night, Miley Cyrus introduced little sister Noah Cyrus for her first major performance. Noah's debut album is expected to drop sometime this year. Well, that's all I have for entertainment. Back to you guys at the desk.
Quinnipiac University is once again involved with the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. On March 17th, students, faculty, and parents are invited to travel to New York City to march in the parade and attend a post-parade reception at Heartland Brewery. The school is offering shuttles from Hamden to New York. In addition, the school is sponsoring a collection of commercials that will air during the parade.
Still to come, club teams vocalize their concerns regarding the university not choosing to recognize them.
And Sierra Goodwill has all things sports. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
And welcome into Studio 125.
So what? So what? If you score 40 points in a basketball game, we all know you play Quinnipiac Intramurals. We all know you love to shoot the rock.
Well, if you think that's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, what I'm about to say, I guess, is going to be pretty ridiculous in your book. But I'm going to say yes, there is a controversy.
I'm getting ready to punch the ball as it lands right in front of another monument player.
All this and more.
Coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Coming up, and hashtag that.
We are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Hello, Quinnipiac hockey fans, and welcome to the Neutral Zone.
Definitely St. Lawrence, and I think you're going to see the test coming up real soon.
They might be having a bit of an adjustment issue without that CBS line, but don't count them out.
At High Point Solutions Arena in Game 2 of Quinnipiac vs. Northeastern Series.
We're back and getting right down into it. Sports, that is.
John McMahon and Brenna Oracoli took a look at two major club sports at Quinnipiac, the Brave hockey and Sleeping Giant lacrosse teams.
Here's what we found.
Sleeping Giants lacrosse and Brave hockey are student-run club teams. However, they are not affiliated with Quinnipiac University.
Success has been just exponentially growing. The first year, they hardly pulled the roster together. Had to deal with a lot of problems of being a new organization, getting other teams to take them seriously and things like that. And this past year, we had one of our most successful seasons, record-wise.
Both the hockey club team and club lacrosse team have qualified for national tournaments. Only Sleeping Giants lacrosse has been able to attend.
So the past 3 years, we've made extensive strides in our field. My freshman year, we made our first national tournament and won our conference playoffs. So that's how it works. You win your conference, then make the national. So we won one. Then the next year, which was last year, we also won the conference, went to the national again, which was an amazing experience. But it's also a toll on our bank accounts.
Students pay all expenses out of pocket. Sleeping Giants lacrosse spends $15,350 per season, while club hockey spends $33,750 a season.
At this point, it's out of our hands, and I think it's hard for us to comprehend the fact that club sports are, as of right now, taking a backseat.
But both teams are optimistic that affiliation with the university is in the near future.
We can look back and say that we have had the biggest helping hand in making this dream become a reality.
I'm Brenna Oracoli, Q30 News.
It's playoff time for Quinnipiac sports. Hockey and basketball are in the middle of their conference tournaments.
Sierra Goodwill recaps how the teams fared.
Alex, John, it's March, which means one of the craziest times for sports. But before we get into the game action, there's even bigger news in Quinnipiac athletics. After 10 years, head coach of the men's basketball team, Tom Moore, has been fired. This comes after the team's first-round exit in the MAC tournament for the third year in a row. Moore and the Bobcats also never made an NCAA tournament appearance. Former and current players, as well as many other people, have taken to social media to support Moore and wish him luck in his future endeavors. And the men's ice hockey team was also in the first round of playoffs this past weekend. Quinnipiac faced off against Brown here in Hamden and swept the Bears in 2 games. The Bobcats took Game 1 6-1 and Game 2 5-1. Freshman goaltender Andrew Shortridge tallied a combined 43 saves on the weekend. Quinnipiac travels to St. Lawrence on Friday for a 3-game series in the ECAC quarterfinals. The Bobcats haven't defeated the Saints in 2 years. One team who is used to winning is the women's basketball team. After defeating Canisius in the quarterfinals of the MAC tournament, it faced rival Iona in the semis. Let's take a look. Iona, the team who sent Quinnipiac home last year in the MAC championship, this year in the regular season. Quinnipiac and Iona split its series, each winning the games at home. Here you'll see a great hustle play. Morgan Mann snagging the rebound off a shoe and missed 3. She drains the long 2. Great senior leadership from Mann. Really pushed the Bobcats through this entire week. And then here you'll see Iona's star, Marina Lizarazu, really take over in the first half for the Gales. She was MAC preseason player of the year, and then she was named to the MAC tournament. She had 20 points on the day. Really dangerous player from all over the court. Here you'll see her knock one down from beyond the arc. And then in the second half, though, Quinnipiac gained a little momentum and shot lights out, especially in the fourth quarter. Great passing sequence here from the Bobcats, really showing their tournament experience. Jen Fay with a hot hand all tournament long, knocks it down from beyond the three-point line. And then the senior and the MAC tournament MVP, Adeline Martucci, knocks it down. The bench loves that one. Quinnipiac wins 64-59. Head coach Tricia Fabry shaking hands after the game. She's on to the MAC championship. Quinnipiac went on to beat Rider 81-73 in the MAC championship. This punches the Bobcats' ticket to the NCAA tournament for the third time in the last 5 years. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sierra. That's it for our show tonight. Be on the lookout for a new Quinnipeople that will feature the newest members of SGA. You'll be able to find it on our website at www.q30television.com along with all the news.
And to know instantly when something happens, give us a follow on Twitter and like us on Facebook at Q30 News. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John McMahon.
And I'm Alex Taglieri. Good night.